what's up? How are we doing? What's up? Let me turn my little TikTok debate message on. I'm not going to turn the member goal thing on because it's broken as fuck. But I will turn the TikTok debate message on because that's what we're doing today for a little bit. We're going to do a little TikTok debating. Hey, Lucy, stop. Our neighbor's pulling in. She's already growling. Stop fucking growling at people. It's not nice. Okay. I just need to check one thing real quick. I need to make sure I have enough recording space to like record my convos with these people and such. Why am I getting the Microsoft OneDrive thing? Leave me alone. Where are we at? Oh, yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good on recording space. Holy shit. I meant to exit out of File Explorer, and I damn near exited out of OBS. Good thing it gives you a "Are you sure?" message. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to hop right into it. I'm hopping right in. I'm going straight to it. Let's see. Let me change the... debating Trump supporters. Go live. All right. Yeah, we're just hopping right into it, brother. We're not putting any, or we're not slow walking our way through this. Whew, this should be fun. It's been a while. It's been a fat minute, dude. We haven't hopped on TikTok live to do debates in like a bit, bro. I got burnt out, dude. I needed a break. We took a break. Haven't done it in a bit. And we're back and we're ready to go. Whilst we are waiting, let me see. Boop, boop. No, not this. I don't care about this. There we go. Whilst we are waiting for people to request up, I need to gather some things real quick, but we are just hanging out waiting for someone to request up anyway, so. Let's see. I forget the format for this star. Oh, yeah, that's not the format. There's supposed to be 2 stars. And boom, boom. There we go. Okay. Let me grab this. Wait, what is... Oh, this is a smaller source. Sorry, I know it like seems weird because I'm just like talking about stuff that you guys can't see. So I know that's probably feels weird. Oh, we got a request already. Let me make sure my mic's actually working. Hello?
Yo, it works.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sweet. What's up?
Well, I disagree with your prompt.
That makes sense. That does track. Why do you disagree? Well, actually, before we even get into like, because I like my prompt uses the word most, so that's usually the tack people want to take. Is like, well, I wouldn't say most. Do you agree, like in the main, that Trump has corruption issues at all, like in any capacity at all?
When you say corruption, like, what do you mean? Like, he's
he has a tendency to use government power vested in him by the people for personal purposes or personal gain.
For personal gain, I can think of an instance where he's done that, I guess.
What instance are you thinking of?
The whole crypto thing that he did.
Like Trump coin?
Yeah, like I would say that he used his standing, like his popularity and his standing for his personal gain.
Okay.
In that instance. So if that's corrupt, I guess, but other presidents have done similar things. They've sold merchandise and stuff like that. So I don't know.
As far as like, do you think there's another president that has sold branded merch as the president, or are you talking about like in campaign
politicians
purposes?
do it all the time. Obama sold books. Bernie Sanders sells books, and he's a sitting official, and he talks about like they sell merchandise. Sometimes it's for charity reasons. Sometimes it's for personal reasons. Yeah, absolutely. I would say most politicians do some level of corruption, if that's the standard. They trade stocks that they maybe shouldn't.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get any disagreement out of me on the, on the fucking insider trading issue. It's a big
Yeah,
problem.
but is that corrupt?
Sure,
Like,
sure, but that's why I
they're
put
not
yeah,
stealing taxpayer dollars.
yeah.
Like,
I
if
think
they're-
this would be like a ridiculously easy claim, or this would be like an easy conversation for us to have if the claim was just like, oh well, Trump is corrupt. Well, then we would just go, well, and you can find an instance in which literally probably every public official is in some capacity. Maybe they do. Maybe it's small. It might be tiny. It might be microscopic. But there's something for all of them, right? Sure. That's not the claim, though. Claim is that he's the most. Nobody does more corrupt shit than this guy does. That's the claim.
I disagree completely.
Okay. Do you view the DOJ indictment that just came down on James Comey? Do you view that as corrupt?
Not if he lied under oath.
He didn't lie under oath. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, to be TBD, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, if it comes out that the trial determines that he didn't lie under oath. Let's say there is a trial. I don't think there will be, but let's say there's like an actual jury trial, and the determination is he didn't lie under oath. What do you think it was corrupt?
That what's corrupt? That Trump
Indicting
went
him.
after him or something?
Yeah.
I don't actually know all the details of the case. I wouldn't be able to say. Like, did the Trump DOJ proactively go after him, or is it just something that, like, what is the root of the indictment?
The root of the indictment is that he lied to Congress. That's the claim. But the claim is
According to
the claim
the
is
DOJ, or who?
according
Who's
to
like
I mean, who issues indictments, right? It's the DOJ. So that inherently, if you're being indicted for lying to Congress, the DOJ is saying you lied to Congress, or it is their opinion, or they have some evidence, or like a million variations on that sentence. But it is ultimately the DOJ saying you lied to Congress. The question is, what is their reason to believe that? The reason that the basis for their claim is that he said in response to the question of did you authorize a third party to speak to the media anonymously about the Russian investigation? Did you authorize that? And he said, no, I did not. It was later revealed that he was aware of who spoke to the media anonymously about the Russian investigation. But he only found out after the fact. He was told after it was done, like, hey, that was me. I did that. Would you call that authorizing? I don't think
I'm not sure.
I mean, definitionally, the word authorizing means that you approved it. You said go. You said yes. You said you can do it. If you only find out about the thing after it already happened, you definitionally didn't authorize it. You didn't approve it ahead of time. That doesn't necessarily mean that you weren't okay with it, or you weren't happy about it, or you weren't like you wouldn't have authorized it. The question was, did you authorize this? If he only found out after it already happened, definitionally speaking, he didn't authorize it. It's impossible. And then they indicted him for lying to Congress on a claim that even like the Fox News lawyers, I don't know if you saw this. I doubt you did. I would have expected you to. But even like the other day when the indictment came out, even the Fox News obviously was like on it instantly talking about it. And even like the Fox News lawyers were like, this is a fucking horrible case. Holy shit. Like this is not going to work.
I mean, if it's a horrible case, then it should be an easy win for Comey.
It will be. It'll be a super easy win. That's not the problem. The problem is Donald Trump hates him. Thus, he uses the power of the Department of Justice to make his life harder. That's corruption. That is, what did we settle on at the beginning of this conversation when you came up? Using official powers given to you by the people for your own personal purposes, to settle your own personal vendetta. In this case, he hates Comey, so he's going to use the power of the DOJ to make his life harder. That's what's happening here.
I mean, so you're saying any action that he takes, so essentially Trump should just do nothing. If anyone went after Trump during his term or during the interim period between Biden and Trump 1 and Trump 2, any action he takes is essentially corruption then, by that logic.
He shouldn't be involved in calling for the prosecution of particular individuals by the DOJ.
What if those particular individuals went after him?
Yeah, that's called revenge.
Like, why?
That's called using the power.
It's not even,
that's called
it's
using
not
the
even
power.
revenge.
That's what so you're hinging this whole thing on, well, they went after him first, so it's like it's okay for him to do it back. We call that revenge.
I don't know.
Using government power for revenge is definitionally corrupt. That fits perfectly with the definition we initially established. That is using government power for personal reasons. He hates them. He wants revenge. He feels like they wronged him. He wants them to have a hard life because of it. So he's using the power the people gave him by voting for him to do it. Government power, personal purposes. Boom.
So like, but that's like saying like any power that you use through the government. So if he wasn't a president, would it still be revenge? And he did it. Like, is that what you're saying?
Well, he wouldn't be able to do it if he wasn't the president. He can only do it because it is power vested in him as the president. Unless I guess he was like the attorney general, but I mean that's the only other person that could do something like that, or a federal attorney, or a federal prosecutor. But even then, it would be the same. I mean, it still would be corrupt. It's power, power given to you by the people, and you're using it for your own reasons.
I don't know. I definitely have to look more into the Comey case, but it doesn't seem to me like it would be revenge, like the way you're describing it.
How do you define revenge?
Like, I guess revenge would be more of like a vendetta against him. Like, I think if Comey actually did something wrong, which this is something that has been called out for a long time now, I don't see it as revenge. It's just like if he's innocent, then he has nothing to fear.
Is that the standard do you want to set for rights in this country? Like if you're innocent, then let the government violate your rights until they.
Standard.
No, that's never been the standard. That will never be the standard. And if that's the standard, like that's a delusional standard. Yes, we have. You're guilty. Yeah. You're saying that's what you're advocating for. You're advocating for guilty until you're saying like fuck it, take him to court, put him in front of a jury.
I said he was guilty.
No, I'm saying you're saying if he truly is innocent, he has nothing to fear. So fuck it, go through the whole process and prove your innocence. You shouldn't have to prove your innocence. It's incumbent upon the government to prove that you're guilty. He shouldn't have to go to court to prove that he's innocent on a case where we already know the facts of the matter. The facts of the matter were, I forget the fucking goober's name. I can look it up if it matters to you. I have no problem doing that. Someone else went to the press about the Russia investigation case, spoke anonymously to the press. Told Comey afterwards that they did it. Like later on was like, hey, that anonymous press source, that was me. And then he was asked in a congressional hearing, in a Senate Judiciary hearing, like, hey, did you authorize that? And he's like, no, I didn't authorize it. And that's the lie that he's supposedly told. Andrew McCabe, thank God for chat. I love you, chat. Yeah, it was McCabe. He's like, hey, that was me, by the way, that spoke to the press anonymously. That's not authorizing. Authorizing is authorizing would be, I'll give you authorizing. If Andrew McCabe came to him and said, hey, I really want, CNN reached out to me, whatever, make someone up. CNN reached out to me. They want to interview about, this case that there's rumors that we have going on. Can I talk to them off the record, like anonymously? Can I speak to them? And if Comey went, yeah, you can. That would be authorizing. And then if he would have told the House or the Senate that he did not authorize it, that is a lie. But that's not what happened. We've known that for. God damn it, dog. I think we've known that for like a while. Like that info's been out for a bit. So the fact that we're getting an indictment on this now is pure vindictive prosecution, pure revenge.
What you're saying because it's a time?
No, we're saying because we already know the facts of the matter. The facts of the matter don't align with the charge at all. Not even close.
That he fabricated or lied under oath?
Yes, there's no evidence that he lied under oath. The only evidence you'd be able to have of think about, let's walk through this real slow. Think about the question being posed. Did you authorize this? Did you authorize McCabe to talk to the press anonymously? Did you do that? There's only two people that can know the true answer to that. That is Comey and McCabe. Those are the two individuals that could know. Both of their stories are the same. That McCabe came to him after he already did it and said, hey, that was me in the press. So inherently, the two people that could provide evidence that Comey's not going to testify against himself, but the two people that could provide evidence that he lied to Congress they're both saying that he didn't, right? So the DOJ has no reason to believe that he did. They're just making shit up because Trump hates him.
I don't know. On the flip side of that, you could say like, if they didn't charge Comey, like I guess just to kind of like steel man the other side, like if they didn't charge Comey as if he's holding a high position of office or high position in the FBI, then that could be considered like a double standard.
Well, he wasn't. He's a civilian. Trump fired him in his first term.
But when but he tested. Hold on, what's the timeline there?
You saying what you saying? Did he get fired after this? He testified, or did he get fired
Or
prior to
no, he
testifying?
might have gotten fired before he actually ended up testifying, but it didn't happen while he was FBI director.
The conversation in question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he held. I mean, so he held a high position in office himself, right? Or like in.
I mean,
in
FBI
politics.
director. I would call that a pretty high ass position. Sure.
Okay, so wouldn't it be more corrupt if it didn't if they didn't pursue this and essentially see if it was about
Yeah.
this like
Yeah, if they covered it up, I would agree with you. Yeah, that covering if you had reason to suspect that a person had lied to Congress and you covered it up, then I would also call that corrupt. The problem is they didn't cover it up. We got McCabe to testify as well. Do you understand? Like you when you think someone has done something wrong, you go to others that could testify to those facts. You know, if you think that Comey lied, about the interaction between himself and McCabe, how that went down, then you go to McCabe and you put his ass under oath and you have him testify as to what happened. And if it was the case, if McCabe testified and he said like, yeah, actually, I went and I asked permission and he gave me permission, then you would be so right now. That isn't what happened. The problem is the facts of the matter don't align with the allegations at all.
Yeah, but you're saying that Trump is corrupt for going after him as if he's going after like a private
Yes.
citizen. He's going after him as the director of the FBI.
Well, that's not the case at all because he's not the director of the FBI.
Well, obviously he's not currently, but I'm saying like that is the context of the case. It's like if he's lying as the director of the FBI, which in that case, who else other than the DOJ would be suited to bring forth the charge?
You're not. I think we're talking past each other here. I agree with you on the point you're currently making. This would be incumbent on the DOJ. This would be their responsibility. Truly, it would be. The problem is you have to have reason to believe that the person actually did what you're accusing them of. All evidence points to the fact that he didn't. So if you're going to indict a person when all the evidence supports them not having committed the crime, and you're going to indict them for the crime anyway because your boss hates him, that's corruption. Corruption.
But if the case is so weak and there's nothing there, then it's honestly a win. For...
Yes, it will get. Yes, I again, we're not in disagreement. It's the principle of the matter. Just because you're gonna win a court case, think about apply it to your own life. Like I know it can be hard to step into these these government figure shoes because they're government figures with power and fuck them. You can't these aren't relatable people. I get that. I totally do. Apply it to your own life though. What if the cops arrest you for something you absolutely did not fucking do and they don't have any evidence that you did? They're just like, I don't like this guy. I'm gonna make his life a little rougher today. So you fucking they arrest you and arraign you. You're gonna be fucking pissed and you'd have a reason to be because what they just did was corrupt. That's why.
Well, let's say you because of this conversation, maybe I said something that you just disagreed with, and like you start to sue me or come after me legally for defamation or something. Like, yeah, I would obviously be pissed, but like I also wouldn't be worried because I have nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, would I say that you're corrupt? Like, no, I wouldn't. Like,
well, I don't have any government power. Inherently corruption would be misusing power that you have.
To apply it to your own life, like let's do it like here between us. Like it's like I could sue you, you could sue me, and like yeah, you could make the same case. Like, well, doesn't that mean you're guilty until proven innocent? Like, no, like I would have nothing to worry about if I truly did.
Yeah, you're talking about a civil lawsuit between two citizens of the country. That's not what we're talking about here. The analogy just doesn't work because we're talking about a person with the most, not arguably. Sure. I don't want to understate the situation. The most powerful person walking the earth. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the most powerful guy on the planet suing having a citizen arrested, indicted over his personal beef. And you could say, well, no, it's actually over lying to Congress. Well, when the evidence doesn't support that he lied to Congress, then you end up in a weird world where maybe we start looking at motives here. Especially when what was it 3 or 4 days prior to that indictment, Trump fucking tweeted Truth, whatever his stupid ass platform, sent a public message out to Pam Bondi like, hey, you need to get on this shit. You need to start prosecuting these fuckers, including Comey. And a couple days later, he's indicted. Really? We're gonna pretend like we don't know what's going on here?
Look. I'm not a big fan of Bondi's recent comments of free speech and whatever. Like, I think
I'm not talking about what she said. I'm talking about what he said. He said, "Go get them."
But as far as like what he says, like, yeah, Trump says a lot of shit. He talks a lot. He's a shit talker for sure. I guess I have more faith in our justice system. I don't think
you just said you don't have. You just said you're not a fan of Bondi and her position on free speech. So if you don't believe, if you don't have faith, if you don't have faith that she can be trusted with free speech matters, and then you have her boss calling publicly for her to prosecute this dude, and then she does, what do you think happened there? That is her boss saying do this, and she said okay, I will. Like. Now, like, she's not the particular problem. We haven't even gotten to, there's a whole section of this. Yeah. There's a whole section of this that's worse that we haven't even gotten into, and it's the fact that the prosecutor that originally held that office, Trump told him to, or Bondi told him to prosecute Comey, and he said, "I can't. There's no evidence. Like, I have no case. I can't prosecute the guy." And then Trump fired him and replaced him with someone that would. And then the literal day that the new person came in, the indictment came out. So we haven't even gotten to that. There's an aspect to this that's even worse than anything we've mentioned so far, but we haven't even touched that yet. That's way worse. When you have a guy holding that office and is like, "There's no case, brother. I can't prosecute this. I have no evidence at all." And then Trump fires the guy and replaces him, and then that same day that the new person comes in, the indictment comes out. Really? And you still are content to pretend like you don't understand what went down here.
No, sure. I get where you're coming from. Like, it might be like a really weak case, and it might be like and honestly, the whole thing seems kind of stupid to me. Like, I just don't think that necessarily makes you like the most corrupt president in American history or whatever. Like, yeah, it's This
is just one thing, but the problem is, we could go on a whole bunch of other stuff, but I don't want to like. I have a issue with moving on to the next thing when we can't even agree on like the most basic shit in the universe. Like, we have a president who hates a person, who orders his DOJ to prosecute the person. The DOJ comes back and says, "No case, sorry, no evidence, we got nothing. This is a bullshit dog shit case." So he fires the person that said that, replaces them, and then says again, "Hey, prosecute him," and they do. Like, that's corruption. That is, again, I'm gonna circle back to original definition: public power for private purpose.
Yes, but is it a private purpose if the allegation in question is just the FBI agent lying under oath? Like, I mean,
because it is because it's pretextual. It's not. If there was solid evidence that the accusation was true, then there's an argument to be made that no, it is not for a private purpose because the motherfucker literally did a crime. Like, it would be just as wrong to ignore a crime that had occurred. Like, I think you said that earlier, and I would agree with that. Like, if you had solid evidence that someone did something wrong and you ignored that would be just as bad, right? So, no, it's I agree with you on that notion, but the problem is, again, I've said it a billion times, that evidence doesn't exist. All the evidence points the other direction. So when you force a prosecution, even though the evidence is not in your favor, and then you have by the way, I didn't mention this part. The prosecutor that Trump fired over this is a really good if you look at his prosecutorial record, bro, he's a good he knows what he's doing. He's a A+ lawyer. So for that guy to say we have no fucking evidence, we can't go through with this case, and Trump firing him and replacing him just to get this prosecution, that's corruption.
Do you know the guy's name just so I can look him up later?
Yeah, let me look here. Let's see what this fucking guy's name was.
If not, it's all good.
No, you're good. I was looking at his record earlier, just because sometimes like that's a counter argument that gets brought up. Like, well, maybe he fired him because he's fucking dog shit, and like that. By the way, that's not a bullshit argument. Like, that's logical. You know, it's sometimes people do get fired because they just suck. This wasn't that at all. Fuck. Give me this fucker's name. I should just have it in my notes. I don't know why I don't. God damn it. Every time I put prosecutor and Comey in the same sentence, every time I put Trump fires prosecutor and Comey, any combination of those words into a into a sentence, it just comes with him firing Comey's kid because he also did that.
Are you by the way, are you sure that the DOJ is even going to move forward with this, like past the indictment? Or?
No, I mean there's absolutely no guarantee, but even if they decided to drop it now, it's like indicting him in the first place would still be the Corrupt Act. It could be the case that they end up dropping it later on because they don't want to have discovery. That's entirely possible. So Comey's attorney is absolutely going to Comey's attorney is absolutely 100% going to file a motion to dismiss on the basis of this being a vindictive prosecution. That's going to happen. And the DOJ might not have any interest in having discovery on that matter or any matter, to be honest. Okay, this is the guy. He's Eric Seibert. That's a fucking Eric with an E. If you start like typing his name in, I'm sure the rest of it will come up. But
all right, cool. I'll check it out. Thanks, man.
My God. Of course she will. He told her to do it. What, to prosecute Comey? I mean, I don't know if they'll end up going all the way through with it. They might end up in a position where, after a while, after like pressing the case on a little bit further, they might end up in a position where they see more downsides than upsides. Because the only upside here is that they get to make Comey's life a little hard for a while. But the downsides, I don't think they're going to want to have any. My guess would be I don't think they're going to want anything to do with discovery in this case. I don't think they're going to have any interest in going through discovery. That would just not be a fun time. He told her on Twitter by accident, didn't he? I don't know if it was an accident though. Yes, but I don't know if it was an accident. I don't know if that I don't know how we would know. It seems like it was an accident, bro. You read that post? It reads like it was supposed to be a DM. It reads that way. Okay. By the way, Liberal Hawk, SBLR. Liberal Hawk, thank you for the heart me, and SBLR, thank you for the 2 dolphins and the tiny diny. I appreciate you. He deleted it too. Did he? Let's see. Trump, Truth, Bondi. I wonder if that'll bring this up. Yes. This post. I need to save this post. Yeah, let me just save this. Save image. Gimme. So he said, Pam, I've reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially, same old story as last time, all talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done? Then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past, a woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why 2 of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit and that we had no case. No, I fired him and there is a great case. And many lawyers and legal pundits say so. Lindsay Halligan is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. By the way, that last line just gives away the whole game, doesn't it? That last line, they impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. Is that not a tacit admission that it's a vindictive prosecution? Isn't that not exactly what that is? He's saying, let's break that down into 2 separate points, right? Here's the full sentence. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. Let's break it down. They impeached me and indicted me. Justice must be served. Why are you connecting the 2 of those? Why are you connecting those 2 points like that? Those shouldn't have anything to do with each other. If these weren't vindictive prosecutions, if this wasn't revenge, those 2 things don't connect. They don't have anything to do with each other at all. Right? But you know what I mean? You guys get what I'm saying. He's saying, I want revenge for them indicting me. Bro, that debate panel with Andrew Wilson must have been painful. Kind of. It kind of was. It was painful because of him and the way he acts and the way he debates, for sure. But it wasn't as painful for me as it probably was for the people that were taking the actual left side. because I was taking like a more centrist point of view. My whole point was that I don't care about the Epstein files at all, and I don't think anyone really does beyond optics. Like once you get out of the optics land, because like the optics of the Epstein stuff is really bad for Trump. It's horrible for him because he's acting shady as fuck. He always has been on this issue. He's been acting so fucking shady. So shady on the issue. But once you leave that land, once you leave optics land, nobody gives a shit anymore. Nobody cares. And that was my point. And that not only does nobody care, but nothing will ever come of them. If you follow, there's like a handful of options for what's going on with the Epstein situation. There's like a handful of potential roads that we can go down with that situation. None of them lead to anything meaningful. None of them really do lead to anything of importance, right? So you have option one, that every president and Department of Justice and FBI for the rest of time, not for the rest of time, but for the foreseeable future, continues to get away with suppressing it, and we never find out anything. That's one option. In which case, we never end up finding out anything, and like we get scammed. Second option is eventually it comes out under Trump, and we find out that the reason that he was suppressing it so hard is because there's stuff in there that is embarrassing to him. Keep in mind, this is a man he was a friend of Epstein's, right? So it's entirely possible that there's stuff in there that's going to make him a little red in the cheeks, embarrass him, make him look not so good. If it was, I think there's almost no chance that there's any criminal implications for Trump, because if there were, and if it was provable, if there were criminal implications and they could be proven, there was evidence on the table, he would have been indicted on it already, 100%. He would have been indicted on it 100%. It would have already happened. So I don't think that that's there. But embarrassing material, probably, sure, probably. So then, let's follow that path, right? Let's say it does come out. Let's say it comes out, and it's embarrassing. His base doesn't care. They're not gonna care. The left will do what they're doing right now. Like, we will continue to do what's currently happening, and we'll make fun of him for it. We will push it as an optical point to make him look bad. But the enlightened centrist types, they don't give a shit. His base doesn't give a shit. The Republicans in the Senate don't give a shit. So what materially comes from it? That's not a hypothetical. Tell me what materially comes from it. Nothing. And yet it takes up like 70% of the fucking oxygen in the room of the political discourse. When there's things that are happening that are 150, 200, 300, 3 million times worse. There's so much stuff. There's stuff that's so much worse than the worst possible outcome of the Epstein file stuff. I guess the worst possible outcome is that he did do something criminal and he gets indicted. But again, that would have already happened. That's just a fact. The last FBI and the last DOJ would have fucking got his ass, right? If it was criminal. So it's not criminal, almost certainly. It's probably just embarrassing. And nobody's going to care. His base doesn't give a fuck. They don't care. There's nothing you could say about him they would care about. The House and Senate, they're not going to care. They're not going to do anything. And so ultimately, we're putting so much of our effort is going into like slamming the Epstein stuff. And the end result will be nothing. Nothing. And yet there's real, horrible, terrible, no good, very bad stuff happening with his administration. Let's talk about that. It's more important. That's my view. Anyway, that was a really, really long-winded way of explaining why that panel was a little rough because of Andrew and the way he acts and the way he goes about stuff. Just dealing with that in and of itself was like a pain in the ass. But no, I mean, I was taking that position, so I wasn't really butting heads with him too much because his whole position is defend Daddy Trump. So he was like, Trump didn't do anything. He's completely innocent. It's the deep state. That's his fucking position. Whereas I'm just like, even if he did, worst case scenario is he gets a little bit embarrassed about it coming out. So, I mean, ultimately, who cares? Look at this. Right now, Epstein Files is trending on Twitter. Jesus Christ, dude. Ah, kill me. Let's see. What is it? Why? Why is it trending? Oh, because the how did this leak? New Epstein's private calendar shows Steve Bannon, Peter Thiel, and lunch with Elon Musk. How did this come out? Who dropped this? How did this get out? Somebody tell me. One of you in chat. I don't keep up with the Epstein file stuff, so I just don't know. I don't know because I don't track this. I don't track this. Committee, the family estate, the estate dropped it. Boy. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. The Democrats did nothing with the Epstein files. Yep. And the Republicans are actively hiding them. So I don't know what dumb fuck point you think you're making. That's my favorite thing. We're like, well, the Democrats didn't release them. Like, the Democrats didn't release them because nobody was calling for it. Like, the Democratic base, no Biden supporter was like, give me the fucking Epstein file. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit back then. There was Biden's base of support, however big that was. I don't know how big the hardcore Biden supporters, how big the movement for hardcore Biden supporters was, but the Biden supporters were not fucking begging for the Epstein files like the conspiracy theory Trumples were, right? So yeah, the Democrats didn't release them because nobody gave a fuck. But Trump's base, Trump cultivates a base of people that are prone to like falling into conspiracy traps, and so inherently you're going to end up with this issue. Okay, enough about that. Listen. Let me pin this rose gold real quick. Let me just do this real quick. I'm just gonna throw that up there because we haven't even touched the first gift goal of the stream. By the way, Sabrina, thank you for the follow. I do want to say thank you for the thank you to SBLR and Liberal Hawk for the gifts thus far. Thank you for the 31 followers, including Sabrina and Zaddy, 2 people who had just followed. Thank you for the new follows. I'm gonna hop off. I had very little time to stream today. I just wanted to hop on and have a convo about the Comey stuff because I wanted to see what the MAGA talking points are for Comey right now. This is how I used to handle TikTok debates, by the way, or this is what I used to use TikTok debates for before I stopped doing them. I'm gonna start doing them more. By the way, if you're a follower of mine and you're a fan of the TikTok debate stuff, I'm coming back to this. I'm gonna do this more often now. What I used to use these for was to see. I would come on here to debate whatever topic I was interested in at that particular moment because I wanted to see what the common MAGA talking points were. So I could then, I would come on here, debate someone about a topic, see what they had to say about it, what the defense of Trump would be, write those defenses down, and then hop off stream and then, do more research on like the counters and stuff for those points. I think just like talking to the average everyday MAGA supporter is really good in terms of like getting a feel for what the talking points of the day are. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to hop on today. I wanted to see what the talking points were for the Comey stuff. Let's see what people would have to say about it, which was worth it and fun. Star Trek fan for life. Star Trek fan for life. Thank you for the, what is this? Chatting popcorn? Thank you. Thank you for the chatting popcorn. I appreciate you. And I see the beauty in you. Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. I just wanted to hop on real quickly and see what I could find out about how people are trying to defend the Comey indictment. And I think we got a hint at what that's like. So, especially from chat too, not just from that guy we talked to, but also from like what you guys in chat were saying, what the MAGA supporters were saying in chat. So now I'll be able to have like a really robust attack vector ready. I'll probably end up doing the same topic tomorrow. I'll probably end up doing a lot of like the Comey indictment and then a lot of the FCC stuff with Kimmel. I'll do both of those a lot tomorrow for a couple hours. But yeah, today I was just trying to get a feel for what MAGA was thinking. Okay, that's it. I'll see you guys. I appreciate you being here. Click the follow button if you're not following. I'll be back tomorrow to do this for a lot longer. Okay. See ya. It's been fun. See ya. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for the gifts for those who gifted. Thank you for the follows for those who followed. See ya. Peace out. Okay. As for YouTube and Facebook individuals, same deal. I mean, my message to you guys is pretty much the same. Just wanted to hop on quick and do a little investigation as to what the talking points were going to be for the Comey stuff. It's been harder for me to gauge it on Twitter. Yeah, it's been a lot harder for me to gauge it on Twitter because I haven't seen a lot of defense of it. I've really not seen a lot of people defending it too hard. Because it's indefensible, right? Inherently, it is indefensible. So of course I'm not going to see defense of it. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with a much longer stream to do a lot more of this. Okay, it's been fun. See you guys. Bye. See you later. Bye. See you later. Bye. Have a great rest of your day.